Dear compatriots, our country can be as great.
Let us all commit ourselves to its greatness.
We must be willing to set aside our differences, unite and stay as one.
In our expansive landmass, human and material resources, and plurality lies our strength.
Let our challenges lead us to rediscover our common ground, and together, let's find solutions.
This will take some time, so it requires patience, tolerance, and forgiveness from every one of us.
Let all hands come on deck to protect and transform our country.
Let us unite and see each other not as adversaries, but as brothers and sisters.
Together, we can build a better Nigeria for ourselves and for the next generations.
This message is brought to you by the National Orientation Agency, NOA, with support.
Good morning, viewers. You're welcome to NOA River State Dialogue. Today, the NOA Dialogue will be continuing on the topic 18th March General Elections, post-mortem. This topic. However, let us make you know that this is a platform where the National Orientation Agency weekly sensitize, reorientate, enlighten the public on government policies and programs, and also get a feedback consciously in doing this. In the wake of the month, we took on the topic 18th March general election post-mortem. Today is exactly the 12th day. If I'm correct, I stand to be corrected. If the election, when the election has come, but you will agree with me that the signs and sounds of the elections are still very much alive with us. People are looking at, it's literally dissecting, a cadavers to examine the cause of death, what happened, what went wrong, and then permit me to say that we are coming back to dissect the election, to open up the election and to see what happened, how, when, how did it happen this whole way. Viewers, at this point you're very free to send in your comment, but before we do that, I'd like to introduce our guest that we have in the studio with us. There's the same face that you saw last week because we are continuing on that trajectory. On my immediate left, I have a public policy analyst. So once again, it's good to have you in the NOA River. He is the Executive Director of OGONI Youth Development Initiative. Sir, once again, we are delighted to have you back in the studios.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be with you.
And then on my far left, Area Guidance and Counseling Diplomat, Liberia. Sir, welcome once again to the NOA River State Dialogue.
Thank you very much. Good morning, viewers.
Viewers, your comments are highly needed, solicited. Keep them coming. Be civil. However, when you keep them coming, avoid controversial and unsubstantiated, messages. My name is Senebo. I am the River State Dialogue. I just want to start on this note. Sir Roland, let me start with you. INEC has budgeted 3 billion naira to defend the just concluded election. Now, if one may ask, does INEC have a mandate to defend 8 billion naira? That's a humongous and very huge amount of money. That's what they budgeted to defend the, just concluded elections at the tribunal and at, whatever, I don't know. So the question is, is INEC defend the just concluded elections?
Well, to begin with, INEC is also a public institution auditing as to justify this humongous amount of money that has been allocated and disbursed to them. And if you look at all the challenges that is in the public domain, you will find out that the challenges that voters experienced does not correspond to the kind of money INEC was given. And this is just what we know. We're talking about also foreign donors that have made donations to them that are not even being captured. So INEC, as a matter of urgency and for the sake of posterity, what that those approved and released amounts of money was being used for.
Thank you. Comrade, let me hear from your own perspective. Hearing, because even the contestants so far, we've not heard. Probably, they are doing their thing. But are they trying to? What point are they trying to pull? With that kind of amount of money.
It's okay. I think, like I keep saying, we are in a country where everything seems to be drama. I want to believe that we are responsible for being responsible for their actions and inactions. INEC, as an umpire organization that conducted the 2023 election, was first allocated a huge sum of amount of money for the conduct of the election. You defend. What do you want to defend? What do you intend to defend? Is there any cockroach in your cupboard? Is there any reason why you think you need to defend what has been done? Have you been found wanting? Do you feel that you are guilty? Do you think that you might have a litigation that will come up against the conduct of what you do? What do you intend to defend in the course of collecting 3 billion naira? What do you want to do with the money? You see, that gives us so much question that we have some persons that are in or at the aims of an affair, but are actually not giving out what is expected. I don't need to go further, but I have with me evidence that is with me right now that either I'm going to forward to your phone or I'm going to send it or read it out to the listening public. I don't know which one would be preferable. Now, but if I have to say it, here with me, INEC is still uploading results. Even as INEC is still uploading 3 billion naira to defend. What do you want to defend? When up to now, in some various states, INEC is still uploading. In Rivers State, in some polling units in Rivers State, INEC is still going about uploading results. Do you want me to read out the units that they are uploading results? I think I have it on my phone. Now, I wanted to do it for the sake of evidence and to prove my point. Because if INEC wants to do such a thing, you are yet to conclude on the election. You are yet to tell Nigerians, Rivers people, and the 36 states of Nigeria how you conducted the election. You are also yet to tell Nigerians, thank you for being part of what you consider as a credible election. As we speak, some persons are here telling us that the election was credible. And who are those telling us the election was credible? What is their affiliation? What is their relationship with INEC? How are they coming up to tell us election was credible? If election was credible, what do you need 3 billion naira to defend a just complete election? Believe me, it is for the first time I am hearing that INEC is making requests to defend just election that was conducted. I don't think I've heard that for the past period, other since election was conducted, that INEC will go back and demand for money to defend an election that was conducted by them. So it gives reasons for INEC to ask us some questions. We are going to ask INEC some vital questions that is very important. And what are those questions? The 3 billion naira you are looking forward to defend, what is the reason? Is it that you are having intention to sue people, or is it that you want to believe that some people are going to have litigation against you? Because the INEC national chairman, Mahmoud Yakubu, make it clear to us that he was going to ensure every candidate that seek redress to go to court. You make a pronouncement and then you ask people to go to court. Is it that he's looking for the 3 billion naira to defend himself in court, knowing very well that people will take him to court? Is it that Mahmoud Yakubu is prepared to go and present a doctored result that was assumed that was the result that was announced and declared at the polling unit or at the collation center? Is it what he's going to defend? Because he also was the person that advised and directed all aggrieved candidates that is not satisfied with the result that was announced to go to court. So is it 3 billion naira to defend himself in court when he will be taken to court? Is that the reason? If that is the reason, then I'm sure he has fallen short of the expectation of the people. Because what we want to do, or what we wanted him to do, was to just resign. That was the first thing we expect him to do. That the INEC National Chairman, Mahmoud Yakubu, should just resign honorably, because that is what he deserves. In a standard, in a country where there is a standard and there is a civilized system, it is expected that when you conduct yourself in a way that is not appropriate in the eyes of the people you represent, what is expected of you that you just resign and then vacate the office and tell Nigerians that you were sorry. And possibly for any reason you did what you did it based on the pressure. Like we have some political leaders, we have some agencies, we have some institutions that are responsible for doing that. When the pressure is on them, when their principals call them and they are handling a sensitive issue, the first thing they do is that they just answered and they resigned. But now, you INEC chairman, you are requesting for 3 billion. The question is, Nigeria are crying because we are at the stage where we cannot expect anything good again. I personally, COMRADE IMEABA SAVIOUR Oscar, feel so dissatisfied in the person of Yakubu Mahmoud. I am very dissatisfied with him. I am disappointed in him. I am discouraged about anything that concerns Mahmoud Yakubu. I am not the only person disappointed. I am quite sure millions and thousands of Nigerians are also disappointed in Yakubu Mahmoud. And that's why we don't have confidence, even if he's going to court, even if he's there to defend a case in court. There is no confidence, there is no belief that his expectation is actually genuine. Maybe he has decided to do what they call achieve before he leaves. Because every INEC staff, especially those that are living close to me, I have some INEC staff that are living very close to me here in Port Harcourt. And before now, they've told me that the person that will be declared winner in Rivers State is what they call it, Sim Fubara. And I argue with them and I ask why. Why are you aware of the winner when the election has not been conducted? Is it that you are a crowd-carried member of PDP in INEC? Or is it that there is something Nigerians or Rivers people are not aware? That was not just for Rivers State. Even at the presidency level or presidential level, I was also argued with by some INEC senior representative. Please permit me to mention names if I must. Now, I was also asked by some INEC senior representative. I was told that the person that will be declared winner is Tinubu. I got that even before he was declared the winner. And when he was declared the winner, it didn't come to me as a surprise, because some insider in INEC told me reliably that the person that will be declared winner is Tinubu. And the same way I was told that Sim will be declared the winner. As a matter of fact, some returning officers, some INEC officers that were sent to some local government were also telling me that in their local government, Sim will win. And you are INEC staff. Not like, I'm not saying it was a PDP person. I was on FM with one of the INEC seniors that their public relations saying in the studio that INEC was prepared for a conduct of a credible election. I asked her, what are the yardsticks, considering the fact that in the quarter before the election, and when we came on air to inform the security agency and INEC, what they found wanting for that PVC, thousands of PVC, has not till today been called to book. The investigation is not as we speak today. The reason why how many thousands of PVC was found in the gutter in Port Harcourt, Rivers State, the reason why we found such amount of PVC till today, we cannot be able to justify not giving the opportunity to pick their PVC. Even here in Port Harcourt, some persons went to see if they can get their PVC, no way. Those that even try the best that they can to register, no way. The chairman have requested for 3 billion to defend election that have just been conducted by him, and we are asking, what defense is Mahmoud Yakubu looking forward to secure in court? Because I know he will be taken to court.
I'm afraid we have to go to here. You see, INEC actually have grounds were clearly spelled out when to register, time for claims and objection, PVC collections and all of that. And a lot of Nigerians, we Nigerians were fond of, last minute, and then we postponed and then last minute. So for those that do not collect their PVC, I know PVC. ENE-AWAJI, let me just take you as we round up on this very particular, 3 billion INEC has budgeted to defend it. I just want you to, what's your take about it, your contributions about it, even as we round up this very question.
For me, it's a kind of we don't need to hear that INEC has budgeted 3 billion. It's a way of distracting. See, INEC is not just to come out to tell us we budget 3 billion. It's a waste of money and a waste of time to hear that from INEC. INEC is just set aside by the Constitution to conduct an election. What INEC should do, or should be ready for, and show evidence. The evidence, whatever you use, all the machinery put in place, all the wallet machines or paper put in place that you have used to declare your result, and show the public that this is what you have done. Show us the evidence, show us the result, how you were able to announce so person the winner and so person the loser. That is what INEC is subject to do by law. It is unfortunate that in this part of the world, we take time to build a castle in the air that we know that it will not materialize to anything. I'm not concerned. What INEC has just told me as a Nigerian is that we like to waste money. Because I'm not concerned, INEC has not also finished spending the 3 or something billion they are giving to conduct the election. This is not to refrain that, look, I want this election. Maybe he never said, I expect PDP to say, we are the one who win the election. Not, they said aside money. Not INEC. Unfortunately, that's what we are meant to do. We like to do in this part of the world. Listen, 3 billion naira, for me as maybe a common Nigerian, is a big money that would transform more than 3 government areas if properly used. And now INEC has set aside just to be a witness in a court. It's unfortunate. And I believe that if, like my brother said, if we are civilized as a people, I don't think that INEC chairman should be there. Sorry. For issue of, for any government in power not to have adhered to the laws and to over gadgets put in place to make the election credible, like he just said, whatever would have been done before the election should have been done, and whatever would have made the result acceptable should have been done. But the same concern as a nation, there was a kind of to come, but not INEC. So if we begin to scrutinize how much is Labour Party setting aside for court, how much is ABC, setting how much is PDP. Now you can hear that INEC itself now has set aside. They have lawyers for crying out loud. INEC has lawyers that they pay. I know they can also seek assistance of maybe stand outside, but they have 3 billion naira that can change more than 100, maybe more than 50,000, more than 1 million Nigerians. Their lives will be changed. Money.
Thank you. At this point, let's open the telephone lines for viewers to also use that platform to get across to these fantastic discussions. +234 9166 587355. I take it once again. +234 9166 587355. I think I'm going to take it one more time for the last time. I'm going to take it slowly this time around. +234. Discussion is for enlightenment and for reorientation. Thank you. So let me say this now. With the level of voter suppression we saw, intimidation and harassment, violence. Now we have little, we have had little or no report about arrests, and subsequent, prosecution of those who perpetrated all of these acts. What does that, portend? Either way, what does that signify for the state or the country at large, either way?
Coming to your studio, I was listening to a program on 92.3 of an adult staff that was killed at Odua. It was killed, and INEC has not made any statement. The police has also not made any statements. Just this morning. So it's no longer statistics. We are talking about real life. So the denials does not come in at all. Now, this is probably maybe a case that is specific to Abua. Then we have some in Ghana, we have others in other LGAs that are being suppressed, that have not seen the limelight. Now, my worry is that we seem to have the narrative being upped to a certain level now that we are looking helpless and hopeless. According to the laws, of the electoral laws that we have, there are supposed to be sanctions, there are supposed to be consequences.
Sorry, let's take this one. Hello. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning. Your name and your location.
Yes, my name is Chime Oba, one of your regular callers, coming from Port Harcourt.
Thank you, Chime. Go ahead with your contributions.
Yes, let me first of all congratulate, use this medium to congratulate the president-elect, the governor-elect of the state, I want to believe that this platform, like you rightly said, is a platform, that is geared towards, communicating government policies, programs, and activities to the people. It's a platform that is targeted towards empowering the people. I want to say that everybody that is involved, those that have contested, those that have won, and those that lost the election, should shield their cause. The election has come and gone. This is not the first time. We have been experiencing, in fact, electoral malpractices is one of the characteristics, is one of the features of elections in Nigeria, whether you like it or not.
And so, Chiwe, and because of that, hello, Chiwe, please listen to me. Election malpractices, violence is one of the characteristics of Nigerian elections. So we should just allow it to go like that. Hello. Hello, can you hear me? I can hear you. Go ahead. Yes.
You cannot rule it out for now because we have not attained the level of political consciousness and the people. We have not attained that level of political consciousness. Even there is really before election that he had discussion with some of the residents, whatever stuff, and they told him that people will be declared. I mean, in a public platform like this, it doesn't make such a statement. He will declare what action.
Contributions. Thank you. We are talking about, we've not had any report. No report from any test. No report of prosecution. The killing, we heard about 11 persons died, violence here and there, cutting away of electoral material, and all kinds of, infractions that took place in the course of the election. And then we've not heard of any arrest, no report of any arrest, talk less of prosecution. What is it?
It's going to continue, and it's probably going to take a new dimension. Because what has happened is that our Nigerian politicians just feel win an election by all means and sit in an office. Because if it is actually for service, then when there are no consequences, then definitely there will be no deterrence. And then of course what it implies is that it's going to take a miracle not to have judiciary. This is the time the judiciary should look at the evidences that are going to be presented either by the candidates or their various political parties and apply the sanctions. And when this is done, I can bet you, it's going to reduce drastically these anomalies that we have seen, this criminality that we have seen. Because this, as a matter of fact, technology, which is the beavers, came out on that first day, which was the 25th February 2023 presidential election. And so when that was set aside for whatever reason. I mean, for me, the only interpretation I give to it is that there appears to be complicit between the INEC itself that is supposed to be independent with some of the political parties. And it's not limited to just one political party. They were all in it. It was just like a game. Who will outsmart each other in the rigging process? That's what was going on. Because if they have allowed the beavers and the IREC to function, they were taking place. So for me, consequence must be emphasized. Nigerians must get up and stop saying, let's move on. What are we moving on to? We have our children coming up. What legacies are we leaving for them? We are setting a precedent that at the end of the day is going to become a keg of gunpowder with the youths that are coming up now, because they are advanced in technology, and so they will get more sophisticated in these same criminal activities that we've just experienced. And that's such that there must be consequences, there must be sanctions. And right now the judiciary should be able to apply that so it will become a deterrent to those who are currently there and for the future elections as well.
That I'm going to read this, the messages. I just want more persons are waiting to read that. What it means in essence is that whatever we're seeing today, yes, INEC is on the radar now. INEC is on, there that all of us are talking about, but that largely what happens in every sector in Nigeria is a reflection of the Nigerian society.
Very true.
It's a reflection of the Nigerian society. And so, looking at it holistically, not bringing out an institution or a government body or any person. Thank you for streaming live with us. It's good to know that you're streaming live with us. Faith, thank God, kudos to you too for streaming live with us. Patient Joseph, you're streaming live with us. Tema, please. Also, please, this live. Please, good to know that you're streaming live with us. Ifi Amuchiazi, thank you for streaming live with us. Now, 350 billion naira is huge, and INEC should be responsible to defend the money spent on the just concluded election. Thank you for your time there. Rosemary Abehad, it's good to know that you're streaming live with us. This one is from Bridget Edemio. Issue and attacking voters should not be taken for granted. Thank you, and that's what we have been discussing. Some of the discussions have actually made mention of that. Thank you. Election was conducted. Okay, thank you, sir. This one is from Peter Gabie. Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu remains Nigeria's 16th president until the opposing parties can provide irrefutable evidence of any form of malpractice during the election. Thank you for your thoughts there. This Charles William Opera, you're streaming live with us. Good to know. Douglas Madison is streaming live with us. Thank you. This one is from Y Kana Command. My NGO, as a matter of mandamus and necessity, is advising INEC to promptly and effectively investigate reports of electoral violence and other electoral offences committed during the general elections. Oh, thank you, Y Command. Thank you for that. This one is from Bekimo Williams. Elections come and gone. Let democracy continue to be perfected on the long term. For now, there were lots of incompetencies. INEC only displayed the digital in theory and not in practice. So thank you very much for your comments there. This one is from Donaldson Marco. It's good to know that you're streaming live with us. This one is from Y Kana Command. Section 52 of the ICPC Act allows INEC to seek the appointment of an independent counsel to investigate allegations of electoral violence and other electoral offences such as bribery that may have been based on the above assertion. Criminalization of electoral is sine qua non. Thank you for your comment. Yeah. So, comrade, like I said, before we went to read the take comment from our live viewers, I want to say that, you know, what is happening is largely a reflection of the society. Yeah, at any point in time, you know, commissions, agency of government, whatever, will be saddled with the responsibility of handling an issue. But you see, what happens is actually a reflection of our society, Nigerian society. I started by saying that everybody is patiently waiting for his turn. Let also docility, and so people are so docile and come to accept, you know, whatever that is happening. Let's look at it from that point. What's your take, sir?
Thank you very much. Recently, we had a case at the State Assembly where there was so much looting that was going on in Rivers State House of Assembly. And when some other party, what the speaker responded to them, Rivers State Speaker House of Assembly, what he responded was that it was a directive. Was also among those that actually ask questions. Some of the House of Assembly members were asking questions on why the looting. There was looting, and they with the president have started looting. Those ones representing different ministries have decided to be visible before their departure. That is actually looting. Because right now, they are embarking on so many projects that will not be visible. Just recently, in my area where I come from, OGONI, President Muhammadu Buhari knew very well that he's leaving anytime soon. In just a month from now, he'll be leaving. And now you have reports. That's a very good one. Secondly, some of the projects that you are approving today, a month to your departure, what are you doing it for? Why is the Minister for Environment and the Junior Minister that is from our state, Abu Aya, Udawudi, why would they at this point be approving such a billion-naira project when they know they won't be there to execute the project? To me, that is looting style. Because if they actually meant well for the people, this project they just approved today or approved yesterday would have been approved 4 years ago, would have been approved at his first tenure, would have been approved 3 years ago, so that before he will leave, it will be as one of those things he hand over to the people, that yes, this is what he did as a president. Now you are actually approving Center of Excellence and others in Ogoni. Will you be there to see to the working terms of this project? Will you be there? Now, that to me is another form of looting, because a lot of them are seated to wait for this project to be approved so that they can get their sharing formula. I have got in contact with some minister last week, and one of the ministers that I actually had in contact with, what I hear from some of these ministers wasn't actually nice to me, because they want to benefit. I don't want to speak about my litigation in court against some ministers, because it's already an ongoing process. If not for the litigation issue, I would have exposed a lot of ministers at this point, and a lot of presidential cabinet that is waiting to just for the president to leave, and they will loot. Looting is now becoming the INEC staffs sit down and wait for election period as when to take home is achievables. A lot of INEC staff, as we speak today, this is the time where some of them are thinking about to build or do this or achieve. To them, it's time for them to achieve. Now, in other sectors, in other ministry, why is it that way? Is it that Nigerians is failing the standard of living? Or is it that Nigerians is just concerned about those in power and not concerned about the people at the rural areas? Is it that our rural areas and our community people or community level, people at the community level should go and die or should not be concerned or given attention? Is it that the reason why they are representing the people has been defeated by their internal greed? Secondly, let's just make a punctuation here. No, let's just make a punctuation here. You know, yeah. I want to talk about the security aspect of the election.
No. We'll come back to that. We'll come back to that. Now, Sir ENE-AWAJI, let me just quickly take you on this. We'll come back to that. 25 to 30% of voters that came out during the presidential elections are first-time voters. In fact, some persons came in from abroad just to vote. And then what we are not told is that Nigerians in diaspora also went to the embassy to vote. Where did those votes go to? Who did they vote for? Where did it go to? It was never mentioned. Now, the point I want to make is that these people are first-time voters. They came out in their numbers to vote. Now, with the disappointment of the beavers meshing, and the IMF, not being able to engineer the expectations of the people. Do you think that these people, these first-time voters, will ever have trust? For some reason, they came out and voted. Do you think they will ever trust the system?
Well, if you want me to answer you directly, I will answer you this way. It will affect their mental reasoning. Because there was high level of expectation to participate in the election. Let me also, let's support to clean this nation. We need to develop our understanding beyond president. If I am a governor or the government chairman of my area, it is by privilege or by natural right of being elected by the people. I sign the document in the name of the government that I am ruling or leading, not my personal government. What is killing us is because we are afraid of accountability. Like I just listened to what each time I interview people, I hear from people. No project of government should also be seen as a personal project of the person in office. No. Even those of us who feel that we are labor leaders, we are project group leaders, we also have to say that the government, the contract of project is tied on anybody. It's not true. There's a misconception of the highest order. About 3 years ago, there was a red line called Pacific Red Line. It took what to accomplish in Pacific in China. 100, even if you are an individual, can you stay 100 years in office to free a project? That's why we get it wrong. If not by my own assertion, government should not be about me. If I leave office and I do what is wrong in the office, but I should be prosecuted. Trump is facing serious that all of us here will be divided on parochial barbaric interests. Is my brother, that's what we call is my brother. I will speak softly. Even it's been done. In a nation that we think that we are educated. Sorry, we are not civilized. Including is coming up to talk, I am not civilized. I am not civilized. Nigerians are not civilized. On the government, by not the government, that project must be done. It's for society. But what we do in this country, there's a lot of INEC. INEC has said there's a law that must hang INEC. But what do you do? I beg not him the first person now. That's what we hear in this part of the world.
So thank you.
To do. For this nation to go forward, we must leave what I call parochial and sentimental interests and go for it. We have fantastic law. Can you mention any leader in this country? Former president. Oh, we are not Abacha because Abacha has died. If Abacha has not died, Abacha in our society, the laws are there to check who are the looters. Even if you are intending looters, you know that when you do that thing, law will catch you up. But you have to do it, we set the light aside. So for me,
let's maximize the little time we have to see how far we can cover. Now, if the news, the news making the rounds on social media is anything to go by, talking about Professor ENE-AWAJI, the lady that was a collation officer in Ambia State, that if the allegations are making the round on social media is anything, were part of the people putting pressure on her to compromise the election result. Now, if that is anything to go by, what does that portend of this country? Where are we going to? The leadership of INEC, although she mentioned, many names were not mentioned, but in some quarters, they even mentioned when they say leadership and they know. So if that is anything to go by, where are we heading to? What does it portend for this country?
You see, I still stand on that foundation that we must have consequences for every action or inaction of our public office holders. There must be accountability and transparency. But let me narrow it down to this profession. It's not just herself, and there's also one Professor Briggs.
So
it shows that we still have credible, competent, not easily swayed public officers. Now, for me, I would even recommend that Professor ENE-AWAJI should be the first female INEC chairman in Nigeria. for being bold enough to withstand the pressures from her superiors and did what is right. And today she's being celebrated for doing what is right. Yeah. The same goes for also Professor Briggs here, the lady, the associate prof at University of Port Harcourt. Now you see, it's not all about money, but it's about integrity, it's about content and character, and demonstrate diligence in the kind of roles or responsibilities they've been assigned to or they've willingly taken on. And if we are able to highlight and showcase more of that, gradually I know the society will begin to feel that yes, we still have competent and diligent people that are not going to be swayed by the perks of the office or by the pressures of few greedy people that want to change situations in a negative way. So, for as far as I'm concerned, she should be nominated as the next and probably the first female, INEC chairman of Nigeria, because she has demonstrated courage, she has demonstrated, credibility, and those are the kind of people we should showcase in this new Nigeria we are talking about. The same goes for the professor lady also at Uniport. So we need to have those kind of people, to become mentors, to inspire other people that yes, there is beauty in doing what is right.
Thank you, sir. Is it, comrade? We are talking about post-mortem now. We're explaining what happened. We are dissecting the whole thing and trying to look at it, from different perspectives and coming from different angles. I want to ask this specific question. This 2023 general election, is there any way, or is there any angle or any area of it that is an improvement of the 2029 general elections?
Thank you very much. I really feel that question is just to express or to expose my bitterness, because you really want me to expose my bitterness seriously, because like I said before, I don't see any improvement at all. INEC never improved on anything. There was no improvement because in the first place, you set up a guidelines for yourself. You went against the guidelines you set for yourself. There was a standard for the conduct of this election. Out of the standard that was set up, none of it was kept to. None of these guidelines were seen being achieved. And at the same time, we talk about improvement. Now, you cannot talk about improvement. At this point, let's remove improvement from what is going on. What we should be looking at, how do we improve, not what we have improved on. We haven't, and we are yet to improve on anything. And the reason is just because we have decided to allow our personal greed to look, to think, or to achieve before us. Just like you talked about the professor. Let me add my voice to her. Both professors, to me, are role models. I also want to give kudos to our women that are making us proud. Yes. I also want to tell the women on the streets, those who are in different hotels trying to sell their body for money, should think of how people like this as a role model. Because if the men can appreciate women like this, then our ladies that are going astray, our ladies that are found wanting in one act or the other, should see these ladies as a role model. We also want to call on the Commissioner of Police. It's unfortunate that HMHM, the Commissioner of Police in charge of the last governorship election, is no longer here today to actually start an investigation or to execute an investigation that he launched. He actually launched this investigation. Now, the former Commissioner of Police has returned back to Rivers State. I wonder how they are going to work on the investigation that he launched. Opon is back. HMHM is gone. And HM actually launched the investigation. Now, how are we going to achieve this? Because in the first place, he that launched the investigation should have seen through the prosecution of what happened, because in his own very eye. Or secondly, how is Ogoni going to provide security to these two women? How is the IG going to provide security to the returning officer of Abia State? Because as we speak, I see her life in danger. Because even when the national chairman of INEC, Mahmoud Yakubu, will not be happy with her, because she is willing to expose everybody. And I'm very much happy with her. She is willing. I just at this point want to call on the international community to give her a protection, to give the returning officer in Rivers State a protection. We call on the eyes and the attention of those that can be able to protect these two ladies, to come out and protect them. We are calling on well-meaning Nigerians to come out and protect them. We are calling on civil society to come out and protect them. We are even calling on the Chief of Army Staff, the GOC, here to come out and protect these women. Because if we do not do that,
you have made the points there. You know, we can go on and on and on and on, but we are rounding up. Time is of essence. ENE-AWAJI, now there is a very big irony that I'm just grappling with while he was talking. You see, the higher the budget, the budgetary expenses for INEC in terms of monetary, in terms of naira and kobo, the more they come up with very highly fraudulent elections. How can we match this? I can't seem to put them together in my brain, because if you look at, I was just looking at the budgetary expenses for 2015 building up to 2019 and 2023 now, and each one, the rate of fraudulent election is getting higher, while the budget is also getting higher.
We must also consider the value. Our money is depreciating every year. Not every year, every day. So that gives room for more humongous amount in each election. But like you asked, the only solution that we have is also aligning myself to just my personality that I have by my side. We need people who will stand by the law. Yeah. Who will stand not by everybody is wicked. Sorry, don't do that. Every human being. But what I'm afraid of is my conscience. When the law is there to say, Frank, don't steal, and I go against the law, I should do for free. Because politicians everywhere in the world devise fraudulent means to win election. Not the Nigerian thing, please. Let's not deceive ourselves. Anywhere in the election, everything. But what I want to say, the agency or person of government in charge of election must obey the law.
Thank you, sir. Time is far spent. Viewers is on this note that politicians all over the world are the same thing. They want to win election at all costs, by all means. But where the umpire wants to engage the rule to the letter, there will be caution. I mean, that's a pattern word for you. Until we come your way next time again, let us use this opportunity now to please appreciate, viewers, join me to appreciate our gentlemen in the studio with me, ENE-AWAJI. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your insightful analogy. Thank you. Comrade, I just want to appreciate you for your incisive, contribution. The statistics in your head is so amazing. If we allow you, you will take on the studio here for 3 hours non-stop. You will be talking. But all the same thing, we say thank you. Thank you very much. We also want to thank our diplomat here, Honorable, in our midst, for giving us your time. We say thank you so much. And I know all of you, we will, as many times, appreciate our Director General, Dr. Gaba Abari. It might interest you to know that he doubles as the executive producer of ENE River State Director, always making sure that this program is unbroken every Friday. Viewers, I also want to take this turn to appreciate our own person who is always behind the camera. You don't see him, but I think that without him, National Orientation Agency, River State, and just seated by his side is an amiable lady, beautiful lady. She's in flesh to the entire team that we are doing. So please, thank you. For those, I saw some comments that came in pretty very late, were not able to take them. Please forgive me. It's not because I don't want to read them, but it's for time. Until we come your way next. Everybody has a role to play. Government waiting to loot are much more than those looting. I want to ask a question. Bless you.